Hola guys, ¿qué paso? Hala Pablo here. Hey, I wanted to talk a little bit about Luna and what's going on with it right now from a technical standpoint. Those of you who've been following me in the trading group forums know that I am invested in Wrapped Luna. Uh, I bought a bunch of it right before I went on vacation. About 2 weeks ago, I left for Denver and Santa Fe, and I dropped about a grand in it when it was trading at, I guess it was like 0.0002. So this is about 2 weeks ago, and I put a grand in, which got me about 4,350,000 of these things. So anyway, a grand is a grand. It's fun money for me. So uh, it's worth the risk. Something like this is worth the risk. This is a bloody token. It's gone through just some trauma, and I one of the things I do and why I've been successful is I like to just buy bloody assets, and the bloodier the better. And you don't go all in, of course. Those of you who know and have been listening to me, that's one of the cardinal rules. You never, ever, ever go all into any asset. I don't care what it is: Microsoft, Apple, uh, Wrapped Luna, Bitcoin, Shiba Inu, whatever it is. You'd never go all in. Instead, you DCA the retracements, and you make sure that you're well diversified, and you never invest income that you can't afford to lose. So these things will always keep you safe. So $1,000 for, you know, uh, uh, Wrapped Luna in a token in this condition, I just thought it was the reward was well worth the risk, and so I jumped into it. And here we are today. It is the 29th of May. And of course, Coinbase has delisted. I'm sorry, they did not delist it. They suspended it. It's so tempting to say delisting for everything. Delist. They delisted this. They took because we've kind of got that from XRP. Remember the whole XRP thing when they were getting sued by the SEC, and they got delisted. But I want to emphasize something here. Coinbase did not delist Luna, Wrapped Luna. Coinbase suspended Wrapped Luna. And suspension denotes or implies a temporary ceasement or a halting in trading, not a delistment. And so one has to take that into consideration when looking at this. There's a reason they chose not to delist it, but to instead simply halt trading on a temporary basis. Now, that does not mean that they won't delist it in the future. We don't know what's going to happen. I'm the first to tell you, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, guys. I don't know what's going to happen with Luna, just like I don't know what's going to happen with Shiba Inu. I don't know what's going to happen. Shit, I don't know what's going to happen with Bitcoin or Matic or Avalanche or Solana or any of these heavy hitters. Uh, but what we do have is market sentiment, and we can inspect and we can analyze the supply, the total supplies. We can analyze who's buying, who's selling, the percentage that's being held in wallets, and how much is being burned, and so on and so forth. And we can also look at the candles and the volume and the technical analysis side of it, the volume spread analysis and the Wyckoff. So, which is what I want to do right now. I want to look at a few of these things and just do a brief video, kind of show you where we are, where I think we are, and what I'm doing. Not financial advice. This is what I do. And you're welcome to piggyback what I do, but you do it at your own risk with money that you can afford to lose. I can't emphasize that enough. It's so simple, so obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people disregard that. And then they lose their shirts, and then you hear them bitching and moaning in Telegram groups and on Discord and in YouTube, and saying how everything's a Ponzi and and everything's a scam. And so anyway, all right, so I've beaten that one enough. So let me get off my soapbox. All right, so we had this huge retracement, and this occurred on the 28th, the 27th, 28th, when it was suspended, when the coin was suspended from Coinbase. And so it seemed to have formed a floor here. Now, those of you know, floors form a support line. Now, this support could only be temporary, I understand that, but it is a solid support. And even though it is on the 45-minute, we could still draw a pretty reliable floor for this range. We don't know yet if this is an accumulation range or a redistribution range in the Wyckoffin sense. But for now, we're just going to outline the support and resistance of these. So this is kind of like what I'm looking at right now. Now our midpoint would bring us somewhere, I want to say like around here. So it's a 0.086. And so this is wrapped LUNA. It's been renamed Terra Classic here. And on CoinMarketCap, it's wrapped LUNA Classic. And you see that the prices, you have the 4 zeros, 8146 kind of correlates what it is on TradingView on Terra Classic Tether. So just want to say that's what I'm going off of right now. And let's take us back to TradingView. It's low volume. It's just consolidating on low volume. So what I want to just draw your attention to is this huge rejection wick right here. And this is noteworthy, I think, and there is definitely interest in wrapped LUNA. I'm just going to call it wrapped LUNA. I know they changed it to LUNA Classic. It's confusing as hell, but we'll just call it wrapped LUNA still for now, or wrapped LUNA Classic. There is clear demand for wrapped LUNA Classic. It is not dumping entirely, which again does not preclude that it will not dump in the future and go all the way to zero. We don't know that. Nobody has a crystal ball. But for now, this rejection and correction by the bulls back up to where it is, a support line, is noteworthy. And so far, it hasn't really been able to break support. And it stayed kind of at this area. It's consolidated at this area for a few hours. Rose back up to resistance, came back down. So there's obviously there's a sell block in this area here, in the area of 0.000091. There is definitely a order block. There is a bear block above that. And because we see a subsequent rejection, we see two rejections here, rejection, rejection. And so it's keeping this tight kind of trading range where it's gone back down to the previous low, didn't go down any further. It was again, obviously there is a bull block here preventing the price from going lower, and it's going back up, and now it's re-hugging support on volume that is low, but also marginally diminishing. So this could denote absorption, which would mean that it could accumulate and launch back up from here at some point. If it were to just continue accumulating, absorbing, and it would mark up eventually. How high it would mark up, we could kind of get an idea off the fibs. Let's go ahead and remove the drawings for now. And if we wanted to do like a fib extension just off the prior high and low, it would bring it back up to about, well, the 618 would be 12. 3 zeros and 12. So this would, if it were to mark up, we could reasonably expect it to reach this area here in the foreseeable future. But they may go down to absorb more. We may see some more close-knit consolidation, and it may take a dip further. This is also possible. On a good note here, on Etherscan, we are seeing some interesting things. The total max supply is 354 billion, 38,722,617 wrapped LUNA. This is down from yesterday. Yesterday I counted 354 billion, 856 million, 103, blah, 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 thousand. We don't need to go any more after that. But it lost about almost 730 million tokens in within 24 hours, less than 24 hours, I'd say like 12 hours. And also the holders, the wallet holders have increased. Yesterday, before I went to bed, it was at 56,054 holders. Now we're at 56,525 holders. So the holders have increased almost by 46%, 45%, and the people are buying WLUNA, and that is a good sign. So I just wanted to direct your attention to that. If we go to the holders, the total holders of the wallet, we see basically four major wallets on here. The first wallet holds 37.13% of all the tokens. This guy's holding. And then we see another one, 21%, 21.8%, and then 8.95, the third highest, and then the five. So there's five wallets mainly, and then everything else is under a percentage. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, basically four big whales that are holding these tokens. So it remains to be seen. So anyway, if you've got this, if you're holding this already, just I would say just keep holding on to it. This is not financial advice. It's what I'm doing. I've got $1,000 in it. The $1,000 is fun money. All right, that's just fun money. If you put money in that you would otherwise have fun with, you know, if you were to go to a casino and play the blackjack or poker or whatever you like to do, or maybe you go to a theme park with your kids and you pay a couple $100 to go on the rides and eat pizza, drink beer, whatever you do, whatever you like to do. You don't come home and say, oh man, I pissed away that money. Well, you had fun. The money served its purpose and you were with your kids. You had a good time. You went to a concert. You went to a museum. You did a bunch of things. You went to a nice expensive steakhouse. You had a good meal. Whatever, you went to a casino and you had your fun there. The same thing, the same mentality you have to have with crypto. And I put $1,000 in here. $1,000 to me is fun money, and I bought almost 5 million WLUNA with it, and the money has served its purpose. So it's either zero or hero at this point. And you know, the money invested is well worth the risk versus the potential reward that can come if this thing ever marks up and you know, corrects itself and gets a new adoption. And I mean, we've seen it before. We've seen tokens before correct like crazy. So I'm willing to hold it from zero to hero. And takes 2, 3, 4 years. It can go all the way to zero. And hey, it was money that served its purpose. So that's the kind of mentality you need to have with crypto. So anyway, I hope that's about all I have to say for this token right now. Hope you found this a little bit informative and encouraging. And anyway, I'll see you guys back in the forums, and just be safe. And remember the cardinal rules. I have to repeat them in every video. Make sure you're well diversified. Never go all in. You DCA, dollar cost average, the markdowns. There are different systems for doing that. I use the Fibonacci retracements. Do not invest income that you need. We just went over that. And hey, when things pump, you got to take profit, guys. You got to take profit so you can use it. So when it retraces, you could reinvest that back in to the into the dips. So those are 4 things. If you do those, you will always be safe. You won't be one of these people on there crying about how you lost everything. All right, guys. Take care. God bless. Be safe. And adios, MFers.